Dun, dun, dun. Army of Gingers. The Gingers have come. Octave, can you paint my Shut Up, Gordon? Dun, 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 dun. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play Paint Alive. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday evening. Here we go with another one of these. So, once again, if you are watching this on record, go ahead and give yourself a few minutes. Get your favorite beverage, cue up what it is that you're going to paint. Hopefully, you are also painting an army of gingers. Oh, dude, shut up, Gordon. Yeah, maybe you're painting that. But anyway, let me go ahead and go. And let's set the title to this stream, and we'll get going straight away. Soon as my browser hooks me up here. But as you can see, I am painting more Lord of the Rings stuff. I promise you we're not just painting gingers tonight. Especially bald necklace gingers. Let's call this painting Lord of the Rings Night 2. Okay. I'm painting an army of gingers. Alright, army of gingers, folks. These are the bandits, I think. I think they're bandits. But I don't really know what they are, so I'm just painting them to be like that because it's funny to me. But we're gonna paint. So we're painting all the bad guys stuff. We painted the orcs the other night, so all the orcs are done now, and we've moved on to the gingers. I'm actually gonna put the gingers away for a second. They'll come back when we start doing some detail and all that level stuff. So, all right, army of gingers. Army of gingers. I'm gonna put them away. And yes, you have to say it that way every time you pick up the army of gingers, because you never know when you will next face an army of gingers. Somebody's
Hello,
in the
sir.
chat. Hey, what's up?
How have you been?
Good, man.
It's Richter.
Hey, Richter. Welcome to the feed. I'm
Are you
actually...
streaming?
Yeah, I actually am streaming on YouTube right now. I was streaming just in Discord a little earlier, but nobody hopped on, so my client here said, "Hey, why don't you stream on YouTube?" And I said, "Okay." So I just switched over. And
Did you still want somebody to chat, or am I intruding?
no, sure, no, come hang. I'm. That's why I'm in here. For just because we're just gonna paint, and if we want to chat, totally cool with that. Just be aware you are on air, so don't divulge any government secrets or anything like that. All right.
You're closer to the government than I am.
Ugh. Am I?
Well, since I mean, I have a TWIC card. Does that count?
Uh,
Transportation Worker Identification Card.
I
$125 piece of plastic that we don't use any of the biotech stuff.
I I don't know. I don't know. No, I'm not gonna. It's not that important to me to find out. We'll just keep going. Hey, what's up, Nathan?
So how are you been? You still working?
Yes, I'm working from home, and uh, you know, painting when I can, and watching my kids, and my wife is home as well. She's also working from home. Um, so yeah, we're doing what we can to survive. Nathan
How's your
walked
toilet
into
paper stock?
what's that?
How is your toilet paper stock?
Oh, we're great on toilet paper. We are excellent on toilet paper. Um,
That one
we
still cracks me. I don't get it.
I don't understand it either. Um, I'm just happy that my wife uh, gets we get the Amazon subscription delivery stuff, and that hit that last and we usually order for a month, So we're usually a month out, and we had a little extra order, kind of coincidentally when the freak out started. So we were already in pretty good shape when that whole thing went down. And let's see, missing context. You never know when you will face an army of gingers. It's true. You will never know when you're about to face an army of gingers. You never know. Um, I'll explain the army of gingers. For some reason, I just got. Oh, hey, what's up, Shadowcat? For some reason, I just got inspired while I was painting these Lord of the Rings um, minis here, and decided to make an army of gingers. Um, right now, I am working on. I believe this is Sauron. It better be. Looks like Sauron to me.
Is that for a tabletop game or is that a board game?
This is for the Lord of the Rings board game.
Commission?
Commission, yeah.
Okay. That one looks pretty good.
Yeah, I heard good stuff about the game, and this is a local commission, so chances are we will play it as soon as we'll play it when I'm done painting it and when we are legally allowed to gather together to play it. Hey, what's up, Nelson?
I've been playing around with trying to get a group of friends that we normally group up with to get onto Tabletop Simulator.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe do some like Google Hangouts or something, so you still have that semblance of interpersonal interactions.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a little more complicated than I thought it was going to be.
I've never actually tried Tabletop Simulator.
So basically, it's upfront cost, like price of admission sort of thing. Normal price is $20 for one license, or you could group up with 4 friends and buy 4 copies for $60. So,
Okay.
and the content is mostly through user uploaded mods, they call it, through their workshop on Steam. So you have to play the game through Steam.
Okay.
And there is varying amount of quality to the games, user uploaded, like I said. So some games are literally just the physical components, just like you'd be playing a regular board game.
Okay.
No training wheels whatsoever. You just have to learn how to interact with the different elements, so you're kind of like a free-floating point in space, and then you can use the WASD keys to move around, and then you can use the arrow keys to change your point of view, rotate your point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And then you use different mouse clicks or drop-down menus to interact with the different pieces. And then you have, some of them are scripted. So like I was looking at Food Chain Magnet, and the one I was looking at, you could push, there's a couple of buttons on the side to set up the game randomly for a 2-player game, or a 3-player game, or a 4-player game. And it would just automatically populate you a map for it.
Okay.
Some other ones had like even scoring built in.
That's
So it
cool.
was much more of a hybrid between playing a regular board game and playing something a little more similar to playing a board game on your phone.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
But I'm still kind of going through it. I mean, there's a lot on there. There's like 30,000 something uploads, lots of duplicates, a lot of games that you would probably not be interested in just by sheer magnitude of how many games are out there that don't strike some of our fancies.
Okay.
But there's also a whole lot of elements to like I saw 40K on there. I saw stuff that you usually like. I've seen you play a lot. I saw Blood Bowl.
You got Blood Bowl on there? Yeah. Well, you could just play the Blood Bowl video game too, though. You could just play
On the
Blood Bowl on Steam, yeah. That's a
Makes sense.
Terran FFG made character inspired by Angmar in full armor, partial reddish and orangey. Uh-oh. I screwed him up. He's supposed to be reddish and orangey? Aw, man. Okay. Okay. But he looks I can change this lighting. Reddish and orangey. as I apply more blue to him. I could. Uh, can you send me some artwork or something so I can? I just like I didn't see any in the box. I didn't see any artwork for the mobs, so I've just been taking my best guess here, which is explains why I have an army of gingers as the bandits. Or you could do, or we could make him a little more like glowy. I was gonna just make him more like glowy, uh, um, Sauron looking guy. But up to you, Nelson. If you want me, I'm totally fine to you. It's really there's not enough on him done. You prefer reddish and black. Okay, we could do that. We can do that, sir. So he'll kind of well we'll stay with like a super dark theme on him, but we'll turn the glow into more red orange glow. Unless you just send me art, I could do that too. I could just copy the artwork because we see what happens when we let me make artistic decisions. Then I make army of gingers. Which may not be the best thing for this set. Although I'm pretty partial to it. I can't think of anything scarier, personally. Alright. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I've never tried Tabletop Simulator. We were talking about doing some games here, but we would do it the kind of the style that we've been doing, which is physically set up a table and a camera, and then have people hop on Discord and tell me what to do, where to move the pieces, and then they have to deal with my my shitty dice rolling, which is the most entertaining part, because you may think you're a skilled board gamer or whatever, but you have never had to deal with the factor of the dice being against you as long as I'm rolling them.
There's got to be a bunch of dice rolling apps or something like that.
Yeah.
You just have everybody sign on to.
Yeah, there is, but this is more frustrating to have to deal with. It's this is the true test of character here. If you can deal with that.
So what you're really saying is you want all of your other players to have the same handicap you do.
Yes. Very much so. I've had many people scream at me on stream to just roll better when they come up with a brilliant plan for their turn, and I return a bunch of bad dice for their efforts. It does not go as well. All right. And are you okay with this sort of bluish glow I'm giving the Nazgul here? Nelson, is that cool? Can I do that? I'm just gonna keep brightening these up in certain areas and bringing up the color, and then we'll figure out Mr. Angmar there. Yeah, there's a couple of characters in this set that I did not recognize. There's like a female hero that I don't recognize because I'm not as big of a Lord of the Rings nerd as I probably should be. So yeah, but I'll refer to the artwork, which is in this. This isn't the movie-based artwork, or these pieces aren't necessarily inspired by the movie stuff, but
it's all from the book lore, right?
yeah,
They didn't dive into like the Silmarillion or the Children of Húrin or anything like that, right?
yeah. So, but it's all basic stuff like orcs. There's orcs and ring rates and that kind of thing. The handicap you have is crap dice roll. Yes, it is Shadowcat. That's the. Plus, I'm a bad player too. There's there's that too. Um, although I will say, lately I've been playing. Well, prior to all this stuff going down, I was playing some Guild Ball with a guy who actually rolls worse than I do, and I was really shocked by that. That was the last game we had was pretty atrocious in terms of the dice rolling. Okay. So we'll just keep. Those are the Ghost Army's greenish. Oh, these are the Ghost Army? Dang it. Okay. Dang. We're not doing well today. Okay. I can fix this. Dang it.
Is there one of those with a crown?
No. I wasn't sure if this was the Ghost Army or if this was. I just thought they were ring rates because I thought that dude was Sauron. I'm like, oh, okay. This board game. I mean, it would make sense.
We're talking
Whoa.
the army that Aragorn got from the dead hill
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. From the. Yeah. Don't worry, we can fix this. We got this. You seen the new one from Privateer Press? No. People have been talking about that. I haven't seen. I haven't really seen much about that. If I'm being honest with you, Privateer Press has never. They haven't gotten me yet. You know, I made a couple of attempts into War Machine back in the day, but never stayed because I guess at the time I didn't like the War Machine meta. The community that we had here locally was kind of not fun. And then you know, at the end of the day, I found I like the smaller size skirmish games anyways. Warmhordes kept growing and growing over the years. And their aesthetic, I don't know, it's okay. It's kind of a fun, like steampunky aesthetic, but I don't know, just never really got me. Okay, all right, Nelson, we're gonna go from blue to green. But I'm still gonna use a lot of this black because it's cool. Can paint the Balrog. Oh man. All right. But yeah, we're gonna use some of this black because it is cool, and I think I do like the more understated color here. So we'll use more. I will bring more green into this, and then we'll just do more of it.
A rainbow whip sounds awesome. As joking as he sounds, that sounds pretty cool.
Depending on the sculpt, you could have a lot of fun moving those colors like that. Okay, there. Now we're going more green, which is actually it's easier. I've done this sort of green ghosty thing on a lot of stuff. This is it's actually easier to do than the blue, but I was like halfway done with the blue. Dang it. and actually a couple of layers in to make this black. But we'll give the whole thing a green tinge to it. So yeah, we've been talking about doing some content like that on this channel, where either just straight up playing board games, or we may do like Guild Ball. We're talking about doing not a Guild Ball game, but almost like a chat about Guild Ball tactics and strategies and that kind of thing.
Kind of like a podcast?
Kind of, but actually like moving some pieces around and talking about almost stuff that I almost look at it like workshopping something with new players. I think that's one thing. I think it's been really tough from my experience to kind of help new players click in the Guild Ball, because there's definitely a learning curve associated with it. Wow, making a mess of this guy's sword. There's a learning curve associated with Guild Ball, and a lot of times the game is like you're just juggling way too much to actually think about what's going on. So new players can really struggle. Like
So
a
sort of
lot of
like
times.
teaching chess?
What's that?
So sort of like when you teach chess, where you set up pieces in a certain position and kind of go, what would you do from this?
Yeah, sort of. Right. But and we'd get a couple of folks in from our local meta. Um, and a couple of people have expressed interest in participating, and it's good that we have some pretty good players in our area that we like to talk Guild Ball all the time. Like, we like to workshop Guild Ball all the time when we're playing locally. But um, I think it would be cool because we do have some newer people that may be jumping in once all this stuff clears. So in order to hear that, uh, they may benefit from watching something like that, just watching these guys put together stuff like that. I don't know, man. Kind of liked it better when it was mostly black. Oh well.
What if you
We'll punch
kind of
it up.
set up a scenario ahead of time and then kind of made it a competition where you had people suggest what their next 3 plays would be on both sides, and whoever comes up with the thing that gets either closest to scoring or does score? Wins.
There have been that's actually something that another podcast has done in the past, and that's pretty cool. I don't know. I'll think about that. That's interesting. I don't know that we would have, at least early on, I don't know that we'd have enough people participating to turn it into a contest, but it would be cool to just have. I'm thinking kind of along those lines though, like get a couple of people to just weigh in on, okay, given this situation, here's kind of what my moves would be, or my mindset, that kind of thing. How they would plan out their turn. Um, what are some of the things that they're looking for and that they're being aware of. So it should be, we'll see. I mean, it'll just be fun to just kind of throw the pieces around um, and talk shop, I guess. And maybe somebody gets something out of it. That would be cool. Either way, it's fine. We
I mean,
just
at this
miss.
point,
There's
we're all
just a
starting
bunch
to
of us
compete.
that miss Guild Ball. So, oh man, cannot. Eh, I have an idea. I have an idea.
Let's talk about it.
We'll get this to work. I feel like that's like it's okay. It's just I feel like actually putting this highlight in has made it too busy looking, if that makes sense. I liked it when there was not quite as much going on. Okay. Yeah. I mean, the other option is I could make them like pure green, like the real old school Lord of the Rings ghosts. That's super easy to do. Just fire up the airbrush and do it. I could do that. I could do that. Probably be faster. Probably be faster. Okay. Yeah, that's probably faster. We're doing it that way. See if we can. Yeah. Just like a sage coat over this, and then, or do I go darker? Like a green. We will figure this out. Let's see. Do that. Oh, no. I actually want to keep most of the shadow on there, which I can do with the Zenithal Prime. Yeah, let's just make our own. Watch this. Let's just. Alright. Should it. Well, it's not that hard to undo this. Ooh. Yeah, this will get us the accent that we want. Okay, I'm going to do this off camera because this is going to take just a little bit more control than I have here with the camera sticking out in front of me. There we go. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was way easier. Actually, it looks pretty nice too. There you go. A lot closer. Alright. Why did I think they were ring wraiths? They're not even wearing armor. Which right, they are missing that they are missing their leader guy. Yay, that's like way easier than that crap I was doing. Okay. And now let's give that a much lighter level highlight. This is where things get a little trickier because I'm just gonna add that and a little bit of like a lighter gray to this whole deal, like a white gray. And we'll just like spot it. All right. So you guys are watching me It's like you're watching a short order cook. Like, oh, I did not mean to put all this stuff on your hamburger, and I'm like ripping the shit off the hamburger to put right back on the plate. There you go, sir. There's a new one. All right. Oh, restaurants. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Got real quiet all of a sudden. Maybe they don't agree with what I'm doing. Is it ethically wrong to just airbrush my way out of a problem?
I don't know. I think it looks better than if you try to get that on the first go.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely gonna get me a lot. It'll get me there a lot faster. There, we're done. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. All right. Clear that out. This guy's a little. Here's the guy I was working on. He's a little brighter than the other two, but they'll all come back to normal. It's really just. From here, it's really just more of like a wash and then a couple of highlights, and then we're good as new. Ghosty thing. So, yeah, let's see. So, what are you working on while? Well, let me ask you this, Richter. Are where you live? Are you under any sort of shelter-in-place order or anything like that?
Yeah, I live in Orange County.
Do you? Oh shit.
Yeah. We've met before. I went down there for one of your paint days.
Oh shit. And I don't remember your internet
It's been a while.
name. Cool. So what are you working on right now? Are you doing any painting?
I'm trying to finally finish off Rising Sun.
Oh,
I got
okay.
2 more monsters left.
Is that for the base set, or is it like for the whole
That's all the
deal?
expansions.
Wow, nice.
Only expansion I don't have is the last 2 clans, the Sun and the Moon.
Yeah. I bought I think at one point I bought some accessories for those clans, but I never bought the physical clans. And I've only played that game once.
Yeah, and then you sold it.
No, I still have it.
Oh, did you? I
Yeah,
thought you said you sold it.
no, it's under here somewhere. It's under my gaming table.
It's still got a pretty big following.
Yeah. Well, it's a really fun game. So it makes sense to me that it would have a good following to it.
I would have to say it has a better meta than most of the other games that I've played in the past. I mean, compared to like Blood Rage or even the other equivalents.
Mhm.
The only thing I really like better than it these days is Lords of Hellas. That game that's my perfect world.
Yeah, we used to see what's his name? Rodney was playing that a lot. Um, at the board game nights. But I've never tried. I've seen the models for it, and the models are really cool.
Models are really cool. What I really like about it is the 3-way tug of war it has.
Mm-hmm.
So all the win conditions except for one are ultimate and just could be over in a turn. You could go from it doesn't look like anybody's winning to somebody just pulls it out and wins it on one turn.
Oh wow.
And everyone's kind of fighting over the 3 different win conditions. Either you kill 3 monsters through a hunting mechanism, or you take over 2 whole regions, or you hold all 6 or 6 out of the 8 Oracle or Temple slats. So it's got this really neat mechanic of you're kind of guessing what everyone else is going for. You're trying not to, project what you're going for.
Hmm.
And typically it's whoever can adapt better, because if you're playing with 4 players, you only got 3, you know, win conditions that you can really hide. Most likely you're doubling up with somebody.
I see.
Evening, folks.
Hey, who's in the who just joined in the chat here?
It's me. It's Tozer.
Oh, hey, what's up, Jose?
Not much.
Are you doing any painting?
Cleaning.
Okay.
Just finished dinner, so I'm washing. I just finished washing the dishes.
Okay.
But I tried. I was gonna paint the what was it? The RSTA Double Trouble set, but Comic Quest apparently ran out.
Oh, somebody bought that?
They had two. They had like
Done.
three boxes in there, according to I can't remember who the new one of the new guys. When
Uh-huh.
I called, like they're out.
What? Who's buying up all the Arstea?
I don't know. What are you
Maybe
guys up to?
maybe Matt. I'm painting this Lord of the Rings Army of the Dead guy.
Oh,
Because
nice. Who's playing Lord of the Rings? I don't know
Who's
anyone who's
Nelson
playing Lord of the Rings.
Nelson
Nelson's
picked it
playing
up.
Lord of the Rings?
Well, not the tabletop. He's playing the board game. This is the board
Oh,
game.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, I gotcha. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, somebody has
Yeah.
GW'd real hard again.
This isn't right. These aren't ring rates. They were never. I don't know. What kind of idiot would think they were ring rates? These are the Army of the Dead guys. All right.
Okay.
We're painting these, and then there's this guy. He's supposed to be orange and red. We'll work on that. Let me work on that while this wash is drying on these guys. Look at all. And then other than that, I've been painting. I'm gonna paint some. I gotta finish up the My Little Side things because my son and I have been playing that
Oh, okay, that's nice.
while. Yeah. And then I also picked up Marvel Crisis Protocol as sort of the last stand when my kid is super bored and about to lose his mind. Then we have
That's
that.
fair.
Then that will save us. Okay.
That's fair.
Let's start transitioning this guy over to. Oh my gosh, I have to throw out my palette because it was designed for a totally different color scheme.
Oy.
I thought it was Sauron. That guy's like budget Sauron. You never know. He kind of looks like him.
So now I'm wondering, is there a Sauron character that's painted like an elf?
Yeah, maybe. Well, I painted the orcs, and they're all green, so I think we're safe there. And
Okay.
and I also painted dire wolves, and they're gray and black. So please tell me the dire wolves are okay as gray and black, and they're
Are you
not.
streaming right now, or?
Yeah, I
or
am.
no?
I am
Where? On YouTube?
on YouTube.
Weird. It's not showing up on my. Oh, here it is. My thing didn't update.
Please
It didn't show
tell
up for me
me.
either until I searched for it.
Oh yeah, well I don't know. YouTube is suppressing me maybe.
No, it's fine. I haven't. I didn't refresh my page in a while. That's probably why it didn't show up.
Oh, gotcha. All right. So I need a good red base here to build this up. And let's see. That's kind of a good red. That's not red enough though. Come on. Tell me in the chat this guy does not at least somewhat resemble like Sauron. Maybe he's budget Sauron. They should have pink feathers. Talking about the direwolves. Damn it. And then the troll. I haven't painted the troll yet.
You know, I gotta remember to scroll down more because I just read what Nelson was saying. They should have pink feathers, Octave. And then it only took a while for it to update. Kidding. I was like, what? I was like, wait, what? Pink feathers.
Damn it. Where's... Oh, that's a pretty good red. That's a pretty good red. I should use that. That's a better red than heavy red. I actually... Red is one of the colors, one of my least favorite colors to paint. It's really not... Because I never know how to hit the exact red I'm looking for. I always miss it. And like I end up going off too far. I end up going like pink or orange. It's because I do you end up like doing too much to red. If that makes sense. Like you really shouldn't be doing like 2 to 3 different highlights on red. It's usually just like 1. So I never quite land on the red that I would like to be. And I need a decent dry brush. These dry brushes all need to go in the trash. Dang it. How about you? Oh, you're not bad. Okay. Alright. See if I can revive this one. We need to play like some Zombicide or something some night. Because that's easy. You just set up the board and then run around and get like 3 people to play.
What happened to the what was it? Did you ever continue playing that Forbidden Fortress?
No, we could totally do that. In fact, I have the expansion. What's it called?
Ooh.
I don't know.
I think I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Shadow Ninja Guys, whatever the name of
You
the...
actually get ninjas.
Yeah.
More ninjas, more ninjas.
You could play a ninja. I could put those together and paint those up. When I'm done messing up Nelson's Lord of the Rings stuff. And painting all his stuff like the characters that they are not.
Lord of the Beans.
Did you ever get to play your Kingdom Death Monster?
No, not once. I ended up selling that.
Wait, you had Kingdom Death?
I did. I had Kingdom
When?
Death. I don't know. That was got to be more than a year ago.
Wow.
More than a year ago.
It must have not been like it must not have been that important because
No, it's not that. It was we were gonna do the whole
You
thing.
mentioned it once to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we were
like, wait, you had Kingdom Death?
We were gonna do the whole thing on stream, and I was gonna run a campaign, and then I started getting into the rule book, and I was like, this is a lot of record keeping. Like,
yeah.
I need to be able to do other things with my life. That's kind of the conclusion I came to. I'm like, yeah, the minis are super
Fair.
cool.
That's
I don't quite have the lifestyle to get me like full time into this game, so I'm gonna find somebody that, find a home that somebody would be able to appreciate it. Yeah, that was the main thing. Like the game looks amazing. Like it actually does like a really good narrative campaign thing. But I was like, I'm not the guy to run that. Get Kingdom Death, but didn't play it. Painted about. I painted enough to do whatever the first few scenarios, and I had some of the like the limited stuff. I had a couple of the pinup versions of the models and that kind
I
of thing.
remember the pinup. I remember you got like was it the policeman, the police girl one or something? Or...
Yeah,
I remember that one, but that's the only Kingdom Death I remember you have.
I had that. I had a female um, butcher. I had the candy and cola. I had like another like Festival of Lights one. So I had a bunch of minis for Kingdom Death, and I painted a bunch of it. But I was like,
Mhm.
unless I cannot, I don't have the kind of bandwidth to run an actual game of it.
Mhm.
So it made more sense to hand that one off. And it was just
Which
making me
monster did
feel
you die on?
guilty. What's that?
Which monster did you die on? I remember you did the lion and the survivors.
I
Did you
did.
do the bird?
No, I never did the bird. I did the stag. I
Yeah,
did the butcher. I did one of the other bad guys. I forget.
the lion.
The lion, yeah. But there was another one I did. I don't remember.
That blob thing?
Uh, no, it wasn't a block. I thought it was another like two-legged character. I couldn't tell you what it is now. I don't remember.
Was it the one with all the lanterns on it?
That sounds familiar. So probably that sounds very familiar to me. Cause
There was one with a bunch of weapons and armor and a whole bunch of lanterns hanging off of him.
yeah, I think that does. Yeah, that probably is the one I did. But I sold it recently. I actually that set had been sitting in sitting here just gathering dust and making me feel super guilty about not doing anything. So I sold it to another local guy here.
Has he played it?
Oops. All right, I gotta clean up a few more things. I'll be back in a bit.
Okay. All right. What was the question?
Has he played it yet?
I haven't checked with him. I sold it to him like less than a month ago. So
Oh,
I don't know. He may still. He had enough to start playing. So either he started playing or he was gonna try to paint the rest of it. I could ask.
yeah, my group, we were supposed to start Gloomhaven this week.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
probably 2 months ago.
That's a game I've painted twice now, and I always make people mad because I paint and I have the minis out on stream and people get like, no, you're not supposed to reveal the minis. Like, oh, sorry.
There's not that many, is there? Only like, what, 17 maybe?
Yeah, it's something like that. I think in total, I want to say it's like less than 20. It's not a lot, but the way the game works, you're apparently, and I didn't even know this the first time I painted it, that those characters are supposed to be secret because you start off with a pool of just a few of them, and then as your campaign progresses, you start to unlock more more classes, and so
Yeah, there's something along the lines of you retire the ones that survive, or they might die off, and then you switch classes to something new. That's how the
yeah,
game stays fresh. Everything
yeah,
I've seen, the game takes like 2 years to finish.
yeah, I yeah. Listen, I like these games, but I need to be able to bounce around a little bit. I was telling Nelson that um, I got the Batman Season 2. I backed that Kickstarter, and I totally regret doing that. Uh,
Wait, the board game one or
the board
the...
game one.
Oh god.
Because I have the Season 1, painted all of that, and we've actually played it like, I want to say maybe 6 or even 7. Like we've played a fair bit of it.
Wow.
Um,
That's really good.
but if I feel like there's enough in Season 1 and I didn't need any more Batman.
But then the season 2, when the Kickstarter launched, I was like, well, crap, that's only another like 80 miniatures. Like I could at least just get it and paint. I can paint 80 minis. That's not too bad.
I might as well round it out to a cool 250.
Yeah, so it was like, because the first Kickstarter is 200 and it's like something like 213 minis total, something like that. So
Jeez.
this next one was only like 80 minis, and I'm like, okay, I can swing that. And we did play Batman like more than a lot of the other board games that I painted, so maybe it'll be worth it. And then I realized that it's kind of like Zombicide, where, in my opinion, like where if you have one season of Zombicide and you don't play Zombicide like every week or whatever, that's probably enough. Like I have season 1 of Zombicide, and we play it like once a year or even a couple times a year, but I've never needed season 2 of Zombicide.
I only got 2 games of Batman, and my friends were like, "That's too complicated."
The board game,
Yeah.
it's a little complicated, but if you're a miniature gamer, it's really not, because it really
I
does.
agree.
Yeah, it really does run more like a miniature game in a lot of ways. So miniature gamers are like, ah, this is not bad. This is like playing a miniatures game. Um,
I started to explain elevations and movement penalties, and their eyes glossed over.
yeah,
It is what it
yeah.
is. Live and
It
learn.
it's super. I mean, it's a cool game. I enjoy playing it, but my whole issue with Batman was, well, one, we want to play when I'm out in public. I always just want to play Guild Ball. Like that's way easier to just set up and you're done in 90 minutes and everybody's happy. With Batman, you got to carry these 2 giant boxes everywhere. That got old real quick. Just carrying these giant every time we wanted to play, I had to lug these two big ass boxes into the bar or whatever. Hey guys, we're gonna play Batman, and then we'd set it up, and it takes, because there's so many pieces, it takes about as long to set up as it does to play. And it's like we could get like 2 or 3 games out of this evening instead of the game of Batman. We are talking about playing some Batman 3rd edition though, the actual miniatures game, which is nice because I was talking with Nelson about it earlier, and I'm like, well, hey, with the board game, I have like 20 crews, so we got plenty of minis if we wanted to play Batman 3rd edition, which I've been hearing good things about. So that might be a thing.
Have they released the rules?
Yeah. And one of the guys locally has been playing it, and he likes it quite a bit. We used to play Batman 1st edition with him, and he knows about all of our kind of issues with the 2nd edition and where the game was the last time we played it. So if he's really in the 3rd edition, that's a good sign. And plus, I really love painting Batman, so I actually just picked up some more Batman pieces just to paint while I'm in quarantine here. So that's on the list at some point.
Yeah,
Is
it's
this
in my pile of shame. I didn't finish.
all right, Nelson? Am I getting close? Because I don't have any artwork. You said orangish red, so I'm like keeping the black and kind of giving him more of like a like a fiery armor appearance here. Almost looks more like flame armor. I think Nelson is just gonna give in and go whatever. It looks. That's my plan. I'm gonna wear him down with different color schemes and just make him give in. Go, yeah, sure, that's what he looks like, right? He looks nothing like this. I actually kind of like this this scheme though. It looks like it looks, his armor looks like heated iron.
I'm actually not sure what character that is.
He said it's an FFG, like a character that they added.
Tauren. Tauren FMG, inspired by Angmar.
Uh-oh. That may be the artwork to make me double back and redo all this. Let's see. Where'd my phone go? As long as I'm right about the army of gingers. Let's see. Oh. He actually has... He's like gold and... Dude, that color scheme sucks, though. Well, what? Uh-oh. Eh. Eh. Alright, okay. We'll do... Let me look at some of these other references. I'll give him the red cloak. But I don't really like the rest of this scheme. It's kind of boring. I'll give him the red cloak and I'll do some gold on him. There's the troll, that's good. Uh-oh, I did the boss man. The boss orc is a lot more green than that. But he looks more like the artwork on the box anyway. Okay.
So this is the Witch King?
No, this is whatever the homebrew character we'll call him. Yeah, I'll do some gold here. So he'll have some gold areas to him. And then we'll do the cloak red, but I like this. I actually do like this scheme a lot better. That's just me, though. Yeah. You like where it's going? Yeah. Thanks. So well, I'll compromise. I'll get him a little closer to what you saw there. But let's just keep this effect going because it's cool. You could say, no, you can't ruin my mini. Stop. The Witch King of Angmar? Or was there another warrior from Angmar? Hey, what's up, Tony C? I have no idea. I am just painting. Luckily, this isn't Gloomhaven. So Gloomhaven people get mad when I screw up the characters.
Oh, Octave, it was
Okay.
good hanging out with you. Stay safe.
All right, you too, man. Thanks for hanging out. All right, so yeah, I like that. We'll give let's give the cloak. I'm actually gonna give the cloak a red tone. I'm actually gonna use the contrast paint, which you should not do over a dark color, but I think it's gonna look pretty awesome over that. Like that's a neat that it almost like there's almost like a bronze tone to it, which is cool. I think he looks cool, personally. I'm just saying that because I don't want to double back and start over. But he does look cool. Dang it. This is what happens. This is the risk you take when I'm painting something for you. Sometimes I just paint first and then ask questions later, and sometimes the questions come in too late. Okay, so he's got a red cloak. That much we know. He's got a red cloak here, and this tassel here is red. But the rest of it, I really kind of like. You can see how the red with the dark undertone is actually going to look pretty nice. Because it's going to be a nice deep red. All right. Yeah. Yeah, see? What happens when you use contrast paint? Well, you don't get the intended color. Right? This is not what Flesh Tear's red is supposed to look like, but frankly, this is such a nice like dark crimson that's what, and it doesn't you lose the effect of the base color and wash attached to a degree, but that's already looking pretty cool. I mean, honestly, contrast paints are fine. You can use them however you want. Yeah, I love this. I'm really liking this a lot better. Yeah, when you said red and black to me, I mean red and orangish, I still imagined that the character would have a lot of black still, but would have this kind of like burning look to him. So this is kind of what I imagined when you said, oh, he's actually orange and black, or orange and red. The steel, I think, that we saw in the what you sent me, it just looks really boring. So I'd rather just do this. Right? So I'm going to make this area here look a little bit more like burnished gold. And then the more time I spend highlighting this yellow up, the more striking it will start to look. So I'm going to keep punching the yellow up a little bit more until I get the effect I want. But I agree, I am really liking this a lot more than the studio art. This down here, I know it looks like really yellow right now, but we'll make that look a little more like burnished gold. Okay, and we will use a contrast paint to do that. Dude, he kind of rocks the shit, man. I love this guy. Yeah, Middle Earth doesn't really have. It's not the most brilliant color schemes. All right, so we'll add a little bit of Guilliman flesh to this yellow, and it's gonna kind of burnish it, right? So you can see it's kind of burnished that area down there. I'm not going to do the top part, just here. And then I'm going to come back with some NMM gold and just highlight that. Looking pretty good though. Overall, pretty happy with that. I could, if I actually want him to have more of a cleaner, sleeker look, I could go in with Armor Wash. In fact, I will. Let's go in with some Armor Wash just in the deep recesses and kind of punch up that color a little bit. If I can find my Armor Wash. Ooh, that's fun. Should have set up to do that. Oh well. Where's my Armor Wash? And then we'll go back to those ghosty guys who are, believe it or not, pretty close to being done. It's not a whole lot left to do on them. It's just more of this type of work. So if I go in with Armor Wash, kind of just hit the dark areas here, it will help punch up this yellow. There we go. Right, and force that contrast up a little bit. Oh yeah, I likey that. I likey that. Let that all sit here. So all those recesses are going to be a lot darker. Yeah, I think he does look a lot cooler. Like this. Okay. And then here on the sword, just like, especially towards the bottom. And then take a little water. By the time they release Sauron, the Angmars will look cool. Like, I could do his sword in a regular steel, but that would be boring as shit. Like, this is way cooler looking, in my opinion. Alright. Do that. Woo. Okay. And you just want to hit, right? You just want to hit enough of those edges to really scream back out at you. Okay. That guy looks, he's kind of my favorite guy in the whole thing now. He looks dope. Okay. Let's, these guys are so easy from here on. This is just one, maybe two highlights to get from here to the end. I find that, like, when I'm working on color schemes, when I first developed the color scheme, it's like 6 colors. And then if you use it enough, like if you keep doing a certain color scheme, you get to a point where you have enough shortcuts to where it ends up being like 2 colors. In this case, this is like 3 colors. And as long as you know the important bits with each color, then you can really still achieve the same effect that you used to do with 6 colors in about half the colors. Okay. So it's just a principal highlight here. And this is so easy to do. It's just the only thing you need to pay attention to is like where this edge highlight lands to make sure that you don't want to overdo it, for one, because then you end up with like a white looking model. But you want to have enough on there to, right, just to kind of generate interest certain areas of the mini. So you don't need a lot. Okay. Honestly, Nelson, when I had them looking more like ring wraiths, that took a lot longer to get that effect, that black effect with the little bit of blue. That took a lot longer to do than this. This is really just the old like ghost thing. If you've looked at like my Guild Ball, my dead Blackheart mini, it's the same color scheme as this. And again, that was like back when I wasn't doing it as much, so there'd be a lot more steps involved. This is a lot fewer steps because now that we know the shortcuts, it's a lot easier to get this. I did not know that these were the ghost. This was the ghost army though. Totally had that wrong. Now that he's painted that way, it looks pretty obvious that that's what that is, but I don't know. Right? So we do just enough highlighting to convince your eyes where to look. That's all you're trying to do. Look there. Look at the face. Look at these other like raised edges. All you're really trying to do. The interest points of this model. Right? You don't need to do each and every single edge, and you probably shouldn't. No, it's not your fault, dude. I was the one like, oh, let's jump in and start painting. So I started to paint without even really checking. I'm like, oh, I can get this done and this done. So once these guys are done, it really just becomes the troll and the heroes. But heroes tend to take longer, so that's why I usually let go last with heroes, and they usually take up their own setup. Sometimes heroes are 2 setups, and what I mean by setup is setting up all your paints and like sitting down for a session. Heroes are usually at least 1 to 2 sessions. Mobs are usually done in like big batches. Like this batch here, I started off with a set of, this was a 14 model batch that included the Army of Gingers, the Wolves, these guys, and that character over there. And basically you start painting that as a batch, and then you start branching off. You're like, okay, I got these to a good point. I'm going to set them aside and finish this part of the batch. I don't know. There's kind of like a whole system I have to doing this. But what's nice is like when they start to finish, you can make the hero characters closer to the movies. Legolas, Spawn, Aragorn, and Bilbo Burnett. Sure. Yeah. I appreciate the leeway with the ladies. I'll go. I think Arwen's in there, so I'll go like movie Arwen. Wait, is that movie Arwen? So I'll go more of like a movie Arwen, and then for that the other character, she'll be, I'll do slightly different colors for her because everybody's sort of, the one issue with the heroes is they're all sort of wearing greens and browns, which of course they should wear. That's like what they wore in the movie. They all have the green elvish cloak that they got. But I'll do some slight variations. Legolas will be, he'll be a little brighter than the other characters. Gimli will have, obviously, he'll have more of a steel and blue and black look to him, like more dwarven colors. And then Aragorn will be, well, Aragorn will still be mostly like greens and browns, mostly ranger colors. Okay, now we just start painting the bases for everything. So let's start all the way back with the Army of Gingers, where we were. Where's that green? Army of Gingers. Look at that. Look at Gordon. Gordon, the Army of Gingers. Hey, Octave, will you paint my Necromunda? Shut up, Gordon. Hey, Octave, why do you hate GW? Shut up, Gordon. Oh, man. This is why you need to watch my feed, Gordon. You gotta, so you could defend yourself instead of just me talking shit into the internet and no one knowing who you are. Oh, man. He is a cool adventure man, let's admit it. These guys. Look out. It's an entire army of gingers. So when I based these, I checked that MDF organizer that you have in there to make sure that these could slide in and out. There still may be some where maybe I didn't, like right here, there's a lot of texture right there, more than I intended. I had to go kind of razor thin on the texture so that this would work. But they should all fit. There might be a couple that stick a little bit in there. But I felt like I really wanted to give these a base because they're good sculpts. They're actually very good sculpts. And they just need that little bit of extra because while they're very good sculpts, they don't necessarily cry out at you at how cool they are. So while I hate batch painting, this actually is getting like a bunch of these done. The first two waves of the two big batches is very satisfying when you're painting a board game because then attacking the heroes does not seem that daunting, right? Because you're like, oh, now I'm only looking at, in this case, I'm only looking at 7 miniatures because there's 6 heroes and the troll. And it's like, yeah, I could spend a little bit extra time making sure the characters look extra cool, as they should, versus the mobs. Although I don't know how you would top a whole army of gingers. Just don't know. So this is the base color for this grass texture. I think you were gonna put tufts on these. If you end up not liking the tufts that you have, let me know. I can put tufts on them. Like I could try to find tufts that will go with those guys. All right. So the wolves. Don't worry about this rock right now. I'll get it to blend a little bit better. Right now it looks very blue. So I get that rock to blend a little bit better. Whole army of Gordon. Yes. So a whole army of Gordon. Just a bunch of guys talking really loudly about Necromunda and yelling at the people behind the counter at Comic Quest. He liked your butchers better than his. I didn't even with your butchers. I think if I recall, it was mainly a touch-up job. I think he didn't like the butchers I did because the red was a little too dull. So he didn't the specific red I used on his butchers was a darker red than what I did on yours. So maybe that's what he thought. Whatever. Again, not really a fan of painting red. Not for that reason. I just don't. Red is just my least favorite color to paint. Because it's hard to find good quality red paints in my experience. And then, like I said, you end up not being unsure of like how you want to shade and highlight red. Red can be a very difficult color for me anyways, to kind of strategize around. I'm usually just looking for, I want a red of this type of hue, and then I can never find that one. Just need to get in there. There you go. Okay. So wolves. Do this guy. Yeah, this guy is cool looking. So is this guy like the main, is he like a boss baddie in this board game? Also, is this the type of board game we could stream? Right? I have questions.
All right, I'm back. What are you working on now?
What up, Jose?
A wolf?
Huh?
Wolf?
I was
Direwolf?
I did have direwolves up for a minute there.
Hmm.
I'm just doing the basing now
Hey.
on all of these. Yeah, is Lord of the Rings the board game? Is it? It doesn't look stream friendly. It looks like there's a lot of stuff to manage, so probably not. Stream friendly.
Is it like dungeon crawler, or is it more like talisman style?
I have no idea. I do not know. But yeah, would like to get Oh, got a message from somebody else. I would like to do some gaming on stream though. I think that'd be fun. We all need to
Will
do
there
that.
be drinking like the last one?
No, probably not. I think I'm getting too, frankly, I think I'm getting too old to do that kind of stuff.
It
It's
was
just too
always so
much damage happens the next day.
But those are that's among the more entertaining portions of the whole exercise.
It's not even me. Apparently, the last one we did, Andrew was telling me that he he was hungover, and he went into the shop, and Yvonne was there, and they were both hungover, and they just kind of looked at each other like they had survived a war or something. So I was like,
Serious?
okay, sounds about right.
It's
We
like, what is this thing? This is one of those we don't mention this ever again kind of
we
looks.
pushed that one pretty hard. In all reality,
Yes,
we did
yes,
push that one
yes.
pretty hard.
No, true enough. Oh god.
It didn't seem like, yeah, and I
So
mean,
much
considering
maturity going around with all
they're
that
the
drinking.
they're the younger, those guys are
So
like
much,
way younger than me, so they
so
can't
much recent maturity
handle
going
it.
all over.
All right, so now I'm gonna do like a cheap, like a poor man's wet blend here. Where's the color I need though? Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh no, it's not here.
On yuck.
Oh no, there it is. Totally streamable. Interesting. Might have to stream some Lord of the Rings then.
Hmm.
We'll do the music. People, yeah, we'll just get drunk and quote the movie. Sam! There's no
Yeah, because
Sam.
there's no
It's
drunk,
just
because DrunkCon's no longer on. We don't have it. There's no place to get drunk and play games anymore. That one time per year.
it's just Frodo. Yeah, that's right. There's no more Drunk Con. That's sad. Rip Kingdom Con.
Yeah. Indeed.
So yes, you can totally do this while the other paint is wet because this is all going to get blended together. You just can't do the next step while things are wet. You can do this step though. And I'm just looking for low spots in the texture. Not really caring how that blends. So you can see this is a super advanced basing technique. Really, really advanced. Yeah, I don't know. I think my drinking and gaming days are kind of over.
Fair enough.
I'll have a beer.
I'll have one beer.
I'll have one beer.
One beer.
But we ain't hitting the sake. Well, maybe like for like the 10th anniversary or something. We'll do it. If we ever got if we ever got Leah back on stream and we got the old crew back, then then we would do it because that's a special, that would be a special occasion. We could do that. Right? If we got Leah and Andrew and Nelson back on, like the original crew, I would do it.
Wow.
Do it for that. I don't know if I would do it for just like on a Thursday or whatever. So what have you been up to, Jose?
Nothing.
Not
Just
not dying.
trying to finish things in the house that I have not bothered doing in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, uh, rearranging, just things that you keep on saying you're gonna end up doing, but actually don't end up doing because other things get in the way. But
Paint.
now I don't have that excuse.
You paint your bedroom.
Why? My bedroom's already paint. The paint is good for another how many years?
Well, practically forever. But if you get bored of the
Yeah,
color,
yeah, but uh, not the. I don't know. I still like the color of it,
yeah.
so I don't see the reason. Any reason to paint right now at this moment?
My wife is talking about maybe we should do some painting around the house here,
Hmm.
which would be obviously something that I have to do. Whoa! Oh no! All right, but that's good. That's actually good for my business. Keeps me employed in these dark days. It's the fact that we know a lot of people will want to, trapped at home, will want to paint stuff.
Is your place fully shut down, or do you still have like automatic processes or machines going on?
We have some of our production facilities are still up. Our West Coast facilities are currently not up.
Uh,
So, but we're just there's kind of a timeline attached to that. Um, my lab is shut down temporarily, and I'm just
hmm.
waiting for the kind of go ahead to fire it back up.
All right.
I think I'm out for probably well, I'm out for a minimum of 2 weeks.
Wow.
It could be 4 weeks. So it's probably, yeah, it's definitely between, I would say, 2 and 6 weeks.
Hmm.
6 weeks is a long shot though. I don't think we're gonna be out that long. I think we'll be out.
Okay.
I think we're more likely. Yeah, it depends if the governor decides he
Yeah.
doesn't like us. Um, although it we I'm developing a return to work plan for my department, um, and I would like us to try to get back. I'll say before May. I think that's
Hmm.
kind of the idea. If we can get us back and up and running before May, then we're cool. Um, and that seems feasible. It's gonna really depend, right, on how uh, on what their response is to the lockdown. Like if we
Hmm.
start to see if you start to see the infection rate flatten the way we hope it will, then then the governor may loosen up a little bit and we may be likely to start up. I mean, in my case, my department is so small that I have a plan to keep everybody somewhat separated
Oh, that's
so
good.
that we can work. Yeah, so that we're not all like crowded up in one work area. That's it. That's the one advantage that my little department has over the other departments is I could technically get us um, back to work sooner than the rest of the company. Um,
Ah,
but then
nice.
my I think that the only person who may object to that would be my own boss. Like if my own boss says no, that's just too risky, I don't want to do it, then I'm gonna defer to him. But
Hmm.
um,
That's
I
fair.
would have to be the one um, to accept responsibility. Like I have to go back and be the facility manager because,
Ooh.
yeah, that's the one downside. Like I have to go back and say, okay, I'm in charge of this whole building now. Um,
Ooh. I'm not. I
uh,
wouldn't like that. That's
which
gonna be a pain.
I had to do briefly. I've done it. I've done it in certain emergencies before. It's just not. It's just not the most preferable thing. But it's okay, you know.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, we're doing okay.
that's good.
Elizabeth, who knows how long her school will be out,
Is
right?
because I know
They
some.
said they're gonna do whatever LA Unified decides to do, and it sounded like LA Unified was like we're gonna be out for the rest of the school year.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
what I heard. At least I'm not sure it was LA Unified, but one of the local school districts basically said, that's it. Class is over until 2021.
yeah, that's crazy. But
But
you
don't they
never
have like
know.
aren't they doing
Somebody,
the tele learning or whatever? They're all
yeah,
trying to.
they are doing
So
that. They are
it's
doing
it's
that.
not technically going to be gone. It's just going to be a little bit. I'm not even going to say it's difficult, but they just have to quote unquote adjust to a new reality.
Right. Um, so it's actually for her it's a mixed blessing because we're not paying for childcare
Oh,
for
ah,
either
yeah,
of our
true.
kids. Um, then we're saving tons of money on gas right now, and food expenses, and there's a lot of upside, temporary, we'll call it temporary upside financially to this, but
Mm.
you know
And the boys can see mom and dad until they get sick of them.
well, yeah, no, that is one issue that we're having is keeping them
Oh.
entertained in here is crazy. Like I get them out once a day,
Mm.
and I'll walk them. We just walk around the house. That's all we're like. We can't go anywhere. We can walk around for a little bit outside. That's what we do. Is we walk around outside for about an hour, not even an hour, and then we just go back inside.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's pretty much what I. I
That's
just I
that's
just
all we
walk
get. It's
for an
like
hour.
jail. It's like
Mm.
here's your here's your free time, but they have rooms full of toys in here,
Yeah.
and they have there's a TV and tablet in every room. There's stuff like that, but they're still little kids. They're still gonna get bored. My son and I play a lot of Minecraft, um,
That's good.
and Minecraft, and we're playing more board games again, and he's painting again. Um, so there's some upside to this for him, and he's doing his homeschooling, and today was his first day of homeschooling, and he really he just realized like he could get really ahead of the classwork and
Hmm.
then just enjoy like a pure vacation time.
That's good for
So
him.
yeah, because that's like my mentality whenever in school, whenever the teachers had like, oh, here's the lesson plan for what's ahead, I would always get like way ahead of the class and then just sleep in class. That was usually my that was how I did school. um, so he probably likes that as well. But oh
Hmm.
man, I guess we'll just hang out and let these dry for a little bit. But they're mostly done. So I got to just highlight. So the next step is you highlight the texture, and you highlight and then wash the texture, and that blends it all together. Oh man, this guy he is really cool. I'm really liking him now. He does look. He is. Yeah, I think he looks way cooler uh, than the regular
Uh,
artwork.
huh. Looks like the next Olympics will be 2021.
Gotta go, Nathan. Have a good one, man. Oh, we'll talk. Nathan, we'll talk about the Guild Ball idea I have. Hopefully, we could do that sometime this week. Be cool. Um, no Yeah, no Olympics, right? Okay.
Yeah,
He,
it's gonna be in 2021. They're so
you
next
want
year.
to do you want to know what I've been into watching lately on
What?
YouTube? Like one of my favorite things to watch right now is I really like watching international 3-on-3 basketball. It is
Oh yeah.
it is so interesting to me, especially Team Philippines.
Oh, you what? You should
I,
see them during the ASEAN games. Those are
yeah,
hilarious games.
I've been watching some of those. But my favorite is the women's team. The women's Philippine team is amazing. Like
Mm.
they don't have a winning record. Like they don't win a lot of their games, but those ladies like they're just nuts, man.
Mm.
They just play with like the craziest amount of energy. I'm like, this is I've been watching this like this is way more entertaining than the NBA. I'll watch that. So that is
Yeah,
my I've been watching a bunch of
the new
those
guilty
videos.
pleasure.
Yes.
The new guilty
International
pleasure.
three I think the NBA is kind of boring these days. I really liked, 80s and 90s NBA, where we
Mm.
had the superstars, and it was a lot more. Um, there was a lot more about the 2 point game and the ball movement. Now it's everybody, including centers, just stand behind the 3 point line and shoot it. I'm like, okay, I get that that's a very efficient strategy these days, but it's pretty boring compared to the shit we used to watch. Like,
Yeah, okay, I'll agree with that.
it's like the NBA in the 80s and 90s was a lot more physical game, and it was a lot more based on playing two game and playing the centers would actually post up and that kind of thing, and that's not even a thing really anymore in the NBA, minus a couple of players, right? There's a couple of players that still do that, but for the most part, it's like every position is just a guy that can shoot a three. And then,
Mm.
you have like Steph Curry and Kevin Durant and Westbrook and Harden and all those guys. Yeah, they're different positions, but they all kind of just do a variation of like a step back three or a or an isolation three. Like it's pretty boring.
I have not paid attention to NBA in such a long ass time.
Yeah, it's just not, you know. And plus, well, and besides that, we have no NBA to watch right now anyway.
Well, you can
So
thank the.
what?
Remember the guy? Who was it? The guy from the
From the
Utah Jazz.
Jazz? Yeah,
Yeah,
an
you can
idiot.
thank him for that, for having no NBA.
He shut down the whole NBA. What an idiot. But it was headed that way anyways. But that dude.
I
That dude
agree. It
should
was headed
get.
that way,
He
but
should
he
be criminally
increased the. It wouldn't have
prosecuted.
been a couple of weeks before it went that bad.
Yeah, I think he should be criminally prosecuted. Personally, I don't think that's like. I know that sounds harsh, but think about it. That's in the early stages of a pandemic.
Yeah,
That's just not. That's just not smart. Like you're
I would.
endangering so many
Yeah,
people.
if I think I would have my opinion wouldn't be as harsh if he had just stuck to touching all the microphones. But then it turns out he was touching all the personal stuff with people in the locker room, and I was like, "You're a freaking idiot."
Well, not only are you an idiot, like that's like now
Yeah,
in my opinion, you've crossed over into asshole because
yeah, yeah.
you're you're endangering people, and it's I
Yeah.
don't know.
That was like, really, you words escape me as to like, seriously, man.
Yeah, like luckily I'm not a judge or anything, but
Mm.
I mean, like that guy, I
Yeah, it's a
think
good thing because all you'd have to do is you put up your judgmental uncle meaning. This is what I think
yeah.
of your. This is what I
How
think of your
many people?
defense.
I would honestly, what I would do is I would like to hold him accountable. I would like track. Okay, here's the number of players in the NBA that are now infected, and I'm just gonna blame them all on you. Let's say, yeah,
Mm.
all those people infected, your fault. You're going to jail.
Mm. Well, and
So
then of
you
course
should not
there's
let
the
me judge that.
who is it? There's the second runner up. The I don't know if if he's considered the first runner up or the second runner up for people who think they're so damn smart but end up not being. What was it? Rand Paul. I took. Why are you in the pool? Don't worry. I'm not Corona.
He
Did
didn't.
you,
Yeah, I guess he found out while he was at the gym or something.
no, it's not. He found it was at the gym. He took the test and then went to the gym.
Yeah, that's not wise. Like if you're taking a test, I think you should already treat yourself
Yeah,
as
if
if
it's already
you're.
gotten to the point where the doctor's telling you fucking take the test and you still decide to go out, it's kind of like
Yeah,
really.
you need to at that point. The minute you are gonna take a test, you should treat yourself like
Yeah.
you're
I won't
already
blame him for
positive.
the dinner. That was before, but the fact that he decided, yeah, I'm still gonna go to the gym despite the fact I might have a deadly contagion, and I've already been told, yeah, we have to test for it. Considering there are not that many tests to go around, we deem you important, and we deem your case suspicious enough to test you. Should be a signal.
Yeah, that wasn't very wise. I agree.
Well,
Well, we'll see. We'll see how many. I don't. I've only heard of one person um, connected to my wife's friend's family. One of her relatives is tested positive, but I don't.
ouch.
So far, I don't know of anybody that's connected to me yet. That
Well, back in the Philippines, my dad's already said like 2 people he knows and have already passed away from it.
oh geez.
And I'm not sure if you met him when you met me at the hospital, but the my uncle who's the doctor, one of his coworkers ended up catching the virus because he's doing frontline treatment and passed away, I think,
Oh
yesterday.
wow. Wow. I didn't meet your uncle. I didn't
No,
meet your
no,
doctor
you met the
uncle.
chef. You didn't meet the doctor.
I met the judgmental uncle.
Yes, that's the chef.
I met that guy.
Yeah, but yeah, so
That
it's
it's
that's why
scary.
whenever I hear people acting like it's not a serious thing, when I hear the people say that, I'm like, God, you guys have no idea. I
Yeah.
don't. I was like, are you being willfully ignorant, or are you just lacking in common sense?
Yeah, it's definitely something you got to take seriously. I'll admit when it for the first when it first came out, I was not taking it all that seriously, and then as it progressed, I would say I really wasn't taking it seriously until late February, which is a mistake. But luckily, it was close enough to where, and luckily, Elizabeth orders
Hmm,
so well, like hoarder level stuff. I was calling her
that's good.
she's like a doomsday prepper on accident. On accident. Like she doesn't actually try to do that. She's just like, I'm gonna order, enough water and food and all this other stuff to where we'll be fine for a whole month in our house, including toilet paper.
That's good.
And so I think the best thing that happened to us was when all the panic buying started, that we did not have to walk into a grocery store because
Yeah,
because that's the easiest way to get
yeah.
infected. It's like
I I mean,
every
I've got to get a lot of my um. I have to pick up set my medications for my asthma once a month, and I'm just having them delivered from now because I don't want to go into the CVS.
for sure. Or you could, if you could do a Walgreens drive-through, that kind of thing.
Mm.
Um, yeah, it's I also realized how much of my life revolves around drive-through. Like prior to this, like, hey, I'm still kind of okay with all the drive-through. I don't, we didn't realize how seldom we literally walk into stores. Um, I only walk, I only walk into stores mainly for work. Like
Mm.
if I'm scouting competitor products or that kind of thing, that's really the only time that I go into stores. For the most part, we were already getting all our stuff delivered,
That's good.
and that's kind of I can take no credit for that. That was an entirely an Elizabeth thing that she had that set up. Like we've been doing this for um, a couple of years, really, where we even have like produce delivered to our house, and we were doing like um, Amazon Amazon Fresh and all that, and luckily all of that stuff had delivered, like I said, right before the panic buying really hit, so
Mm.
we were set.
Yep, all the preppers who people kept on saying, "Nah, you guys are being paranoid. Nothing like that can happen." Well, they're all laughing right in our faces right now.
They're, you know, but I don't know. They didn't buy all the toilet paper.
That's true. That's because Americans haven't discovered the wonders of the bidet.
The tabo, the Filipinos
The
are
tabo,
all,
the tabo, the
they're all
bidet,
set.
the spritzer attached to your attached to your bathroom water tank that sprays water. Also,
No Filipinos were worried about running out of toilet paper
I wasn't.
when it went
I went
down.
into Home Depot. They were selling Charmin uh, extra soft. They were selling like 18 roll packs, and I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm like I'm the only guy with like one pack, and you see everyone else who's not a Filipino. I saw another Filipino, one pack, and you see everyone else. They're good. They got them by the armloads.
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah, damn it, people.
And all the like panic water buying. They're not gonna turn off your water.
Yeah, that's
If you have a water, I just ordered another filter for our fridge. That was it. I'm like, yeah, we need a replacement filter.
yeah,
There, water problem solved. Okay.
yeah. I'll agree with that. I mean, the only time the water will become an issue is like there's an earthquake and the lines get broken, but not
Right.
the lines are not. It's very highly unlikely any lines will be broken.
But even then,
Hmm.
my wife, the doomsday prepper, she still gets boxes of water. We have boxes of water that gets delivered to our house every month. So it's not a new thing.
Wow.
Um, it's because she and my kids like that. They like seltzer water,
Okay.
so they get like Perrier water. I usually get those Japanese green teas. They're super
Oh.
good. I'm sure
Is
you've
this the
had them.
one? I can't remember the name. Is this the one made in Taiwan or is the
No, I
or a
have one
different
in
brand?
this room somewhere. I thought I did.
Man, I think I know
Something
which one you're talking
Ito.
about.
Yeah, I've got one down here. Hold on. Ah, I want to reach and get it. Hold on. Ugh.
Don't strain yourself.
It is these Ito En. These
Yeah. That's the Taiwanese one, I think.
Ito. They're super
Yeah,
good.
those are good. They're also expensive because they're made in Taiwan.
Well, my wife has us on a subscription for them. So, but I
Wow.
just told her to cancel it because I'm like, that's a lot. But like, I don't need tea like
Ito
that.
Ian.
They're super good.
Oh
But,
yeah.
but yeah. So we just got lucky. I every month I'm chopping like a stupid amount of boxes, and I'm always screaming at my wife for being a doomsday prepper. But not this month. This month I was grateful to cut all those damn boxes.
You you're gonna be like, you're right. For once, you're right.
And like,
Take this moment to know that you are correct. I am wrong. This is a
like
good month.
this is a good idea.
This is a
Thank
great
you for
idea.
taking care of our family. This is a good idea. Yeah, she really did great there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they're not big enough, or you can do the second most Filipino thing ever, and then recycle them as balikbayan boxes.
Oh, I could. They're
Oh, gee.
the water boxes are big enough.
Oh, gee.
Well, they're maybe slightly smaller than a balikbayan box, but they're still they're pretty, and they're for holding water, so they're really sturdy.
Yep. And then when you use them to ship for when you use them to ship to send back to the Philippines, you can recycle them again, and the army can use them as anti-rocket propelled
Oh,
grenade
sorry.
armor.
Damn Filipinos.
People don't seem to understand. Filipinos know how to use cardboard boxes in many varied ways. They're not just for storage.
Damn. God. Damn it, Philippines.
That's the
Stop.
crazy. I'll see if I can dig up the picture. And I'll show you. It's the craziest shit ever. they literally strapped like I think 2 or 3 feet worth of Balikbayan boxes to the side of one of their armored vehicles, and it actually took a hit from an RPG, and it survived because of the
Oh
cardboard.
my gosh.
I was like, see, we can recycle and use anything. People underestimate the power of cardboard.
Yeah. Unless you put cigarettes in those boxes, then they would tear that shit open. There's
Oh, in
Philip
that case,
Morris in here, and then they would wreck. That's how you destroy Filipino armor. You put
yes.
cigarettes in there.
And then the cigarettes are like, oh no no no
It's
no,
a
we
cigarettes.
keep this, we keep this.
These are cigarettes. I need this. I've been
Ah,
waiting for this one.
sarap ng sarap.
I get this one. Oh man,
Hmm.
talking shit about the Filipinos. Oh well. Yeah, I was worried because my dad was over there
Oh yeah,
during
I
this
forgot
thing.
to ask you. Was your dad there or here?
He was there. He came back.
Ooh.
He came back end of February. So he came back right as the whole shit was about to hit the fan. And now he is in he is like in full quarantine, which is good. Like we don't want to take any chances,
Mm.
right? So he's not going anywhere. I think my brother is delivering his groceries and stuff to him
Oh, that's good.
because we don't want to. So he's in quarantine, and my mother-in-law is also in quarantine. Like
Ooh.
like full quarantine. Like we're not. She came over. She came over the other day, but did not get in the house. Like I guess she visited the kids through the sliding glass door or whatever.
Mm.
So we're not taking any chances. So that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully this flattens it out. I was watching some guy do mathematical models today on
Mm-hmm.
like what is the difference in the infection rate and the death toll.
Mm-hmm.
Quarantine versus no quarantine, and like if you have a 50% success rate on your quarantine, how does that affect the numbers? It's really significant. So even having, half the people stay home is significant, but
Yeah.
ideally you want to have, he was saying ideally you want to have 99.9% quarantine, but like places right now, the places that are going to be super vulnerable are going to be like London, because people are still cramming themselves into
Yeah. And
their
they're
public
and they're
transport.
living on top of one another because they're super highly urbanized.
Yeah, right.
I don't have a video of it, Nelson, but I have a picture of the results. I don't know, I wonder if YouTube will.
What's that? Oh, he wants to see the video of the tank busting?
It's not a video. It's just an after. It's just what happens when it got hit.
Oh.
Well, sorry, the aftermath of it getting hit, and I was like, "What? It works." If it I can't argue against the fact that yeah, it's cardboard.
Is it because it was a Filipino missile fired at a Filipino armor?
All I know is it's like yeah, it's cardboard, and that's not
The
that's not.
cardboard work.
Those aren't rifle rounds. Those don't look like rifle rounds. That looks like an explosion. Some
God.
form of explosion occurred.
I can imagine if it was a wartime situation and I was in charge of these Filipino guys. And, sir, we will wear a cardboard. What? You're gonna run at those tanks? Yes, sir. We will wear a cardboard. No.
We will see.
I'm like, stupid Philip. I would just be muttering it under my breath, and then they would come back. Sir, it worked. It worked.
Yeah,
Look.
That was
Be like,
basically the reaction of like, what?
I would
What do
be
you mean
like,
it worked?
I would go immediately to stupid Filipinos. And then it would work.
All the muttering.
Wait, look, it worked. They would show me the piece, and I'd be like, that shit missed. That didn't work. Go back out there.
Oh god.
Go find it. Go find another cardboard. Do it again. Then you'll impress me.
Hmm.
Man. Okay. All right. Then all I gotta do after this is just paint the edges black, and now we are into the last leg of this board
What are
game.
those ones? Orcs?
Lord of the Rings stuff. Oh, those are like, I have like the army of Gordon. It's a whole army of gingers, and then and then
Oh jeez.
then did you see them? They're awesome. It's a whole army of Gordon.
Oh my god. How terrifying.
I started to paint them, and I'm like, these guys are bald with no necks and beards. I'm gonna make them all gingers like Gordon. Here.
Oh, jeez.
Hey Octave, you paint my necromanda. He used to. Hey Octave, you paint my necromanda. Like, these guys they are cool looking. But I painted them all to be Gordon, basically. Because why not? I didn't know. I thought maybe they were. At first, when they were gray plastic, I thought they were orcs, and then they didn't have the pointy ears and their faces, right? Like, cause we've seen plenty of bald orcs before,
That's
and
like
so I thought
a
they were.
staple.
Yeah, so I thought they were orcs, and then I looked closely at their faces, and I'm like, these aren't orcs, these are humans. And so I painted all their skin, and they're all just these bald dudes with no necks. And I'm like, oh, let's make them all gingers, so that they will be Gordon. Worked out great. Alright. Looks like him. See, even Nelson thinks it's genius.
Wait, what?
He said, even Nelson thinks that's genius. Oh, jeez.
Nelson, why didn't you get on voice, dude?
Yeah, Nelson, he's not on the Discord.
He's not. I thought he was part of the Discord.
No. Did Nelson,
aren't-
does your Discord work?
Why aren't you on Discord? You should get on Discord, Nelson, and make things easier. Because I keep on forgetting to freaking look at the chat box. I've maxed out the screen. I
Plus,
don't
we
think
do
you'll-
the on Discord. We do like I'll do just like I'll just open up a private feed in Discord that is
Yeah.
totally uncensored too. So if you want to just come in there and just bullshit, that's also a nice little thing. And it is what we're going to be using to do all the board gaming stuff. Yes. Gordon Army is awesome. I should take a picture of these guys and then just and then like do a little side by side with Gordon, the photo that Gordon has
Oh,
where he's
that-
bald.
I just remembered. I have a new candidate for updated Judgmental Uncle mini.
Yeah.
Yeah. See if I can find a See if I can find a good photo of it.
It's better than the current one.
It's almost as good as I don't know. You tell me. Let me see if I can find it. It's the Civi mini for the upcoming Infinity Direfos pack.
Well, that's already a good start.
So let me see if I can find the image of Judgment. Other here it is. See if it's a good.
I want to make a board game Judgmental Uncle. It will get banned though. People will get offended and shit. Like, whatever. You might not have a judgmental uncle, but we certainly do. And we
Yeah.
say this is a good board game.
All right, I sent it to you. I sent it to you on the Discord.
Okay, I'll have a look here in a minute.
Okay.
Let's see.
I don't know. He's Judgmental Uncle or wannabe Tony Stark. You take your pick.
Hey, how come Sean didn't jump in? He looks judgmental, but it's
Not judgmental
it's
enough.
a different it's a different kind of judgmental.
What the heck?
Like, okay, he looks
So
like
now
he's
we're doing
judging.
flavors of judgment. Eh?
Yeah, this guy looks like like this judgmental uncle is this guy here is he's offended by your very presence, right? You have
Wow.
disappointed him from a larger scale lifestyle decision choices. That's that judgment. The one that you sent me, he looks like he's scoffing at either a fashion decision you've made, something you're eating he doesn't like. Like he looks more specific in his judgment.
Okay, I can agree with that. He's like, what the
He's
hell?
like,
Why did you do that?
Why
Why
would you?
did you do that? Dude.
Why did you put butter on your shrimp? Shrimp delicious without this
Why
cocktail sauce on your
ketchup in
shrimp.
everything?
Why did you drown the beautiful shrimp? That's what he's judging you for. Like, I think in all fairness, you need both of them.
Damn,
You
that's
need-
kind of cold, dude.
you
That's
need
like
specific
you're doing
judgment.
double trouble.
And
Wow.
lifestyle judgment. Yeah.
I don't know if most people can survive such a combination.
One of them is judging you for not having kids yet. The other one is judging you for
So it's
using.
life choices and your personal aesthetic both at the same time. Jeez.
You went for mild sauce. Why do you not go for hot sauce? That's what that guy looks like. He looks a lot more. He looks
Why
a lot
did you
more
do
specific.
That to adobo? Adobo is simple.
Why did you add green onion to your adobo? You savage. Everybody know it's bay leaf only.
Oh jeez.
That model is pretty amazing though. I kind of need it
Yes.
now.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I'm not gonna pick up the Direfuzz, and I'm looking like that's kind of super judgmental to me.
That is
Yeah.
some good judgment.
Judge-
Why
That's a
you know
deal.
doctor type of uncle. Yeah, the why you know doctor type of uncle is more generalist, but that uncle leads a squad that includes food choice uncle, dress choice uncle, like who are your friends uncle.
Oh jeez.
You need like a squad of them. That'd be
Just what
great.
the world needs. The power of the judgmental uncles.
And then what they do is if you have enough judgmental uncles, they can summon disappointed dad, which is
Oh,
the final
holy
the
cow.
final
Final.
boss,
Holy
disappointed
Jesus.
dad.
Oh wow, that's a lethal combination right there.
This is a game that we need to design and put on Kickstarter immediately.
Oh god, I'm sure
I
it'll sell
mean,
well.
if people were okay with Cards Against Humanity, we could do.
Can you withstand the wrath of the judgmental uncle?
You get the most points for being the most judgmental, and then and the ultimate winner gets to be disappointed dad.
Wow.
I think we'll make a lot of money. I
Oh,
think
I'm
we
sure
will
we'll
make
make
a
a lot of
lot of money
money.
just off
We'll make a lot
Asians
of money.
alone.
They're gonna be there are gonna be so many people like now I'm the judgmental uncle.
hmm And then then you'll have the crossovers, right? All those like Asian kids are like that like have to talk to their white friends. You don't understand what it's like. Come play this game with me. They'll make them play the game.
Was this to help with the understanding?
Yeah, I'll just sell it that way too. We'll sell it to the
Your
progressive mindset.
help your friends understand your situation.
Here, you are culturally enriching your white friends or whatever by playing judgmental uncle.
Then you can explain about the no, this is the why must you always be so judgmental? Because you're not taught a Asian Trinity. What do you mean? You're not a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer.
It's gonna come with it will come with miniatures, and if you don't paint the miniatures, you automatically get judged. The
Oh
minute you
damn!
start playing, you already started board game without painting your miniatures. So the person who owns the game, if they field
Damn!
unpainted miniatures, they
That's
already get
oh,
penalized.
that's some hardcore gaming, right? That's some hardcore levels of difficulty. Holy shit!
That's the ultimate, though. We gotta find a miniature for disappointed dad.
Yes. Who
It's
knows?
gonna be like a face
Maybe CB
palm.
will strike again and give us a new disappointed dad.
They need a guy in a button-down shirt with his like doing a face palm,
Yeah, they should.
and that's disappointed dad. Best board game, best board game
Best board game
2020. Disappoint.
We'll get CB to design the models. Yep, this is the beautiful model.
Beautiful. I don't understand. Why did your uncle not like you? Just listen. Live in this moment with us. What did your dad want you to be? A beautiful lover. A lover of lady. No! Your dad wanted you to be a doctor or an engineer. No, he
Oh,
wanted me to
lawyer.
wear a Speedo and do dancing. No! Your father wanted you to be a doctor or an engineer.
Wait, okay.
And now,
Hold on. There's there's another candidate for another judgmental uncle.
okay.
Hold on. See it. Oops, wait. That's not the right one. Where is that damn photo?
I would play judgmental uncle with the guy at Corvus Belly that breaks the models. That guy has problems. That guy
The
has
guy in the
real
center.
problems.
The guy in the center. Look at that face. He's like, what the hell have you done?
Dang, that guy just looks sad. Those, oh, they have that set at CQ, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
I saw that set. I nearly bought it. It was like, because I like actually I like all of those minis. They're all pretty cool.
Yeah. But the guy in the center looks super judgmental to me. He's sadly judgmental.
Yeah,
He's not angry, judgmental, and he's not just
He's
exasperated, judgmental. He's
sensitive
sad and
dad.
judgmental.
He's sensitive dad who's just too sad to
Who's
say
like,
what's on his
he's
mind.
trying to understand why would you do that? I'm not angry at you, but why would you do that?
He looks at like somebody that's like really successful at his job and like really happy with what he does at work, and then he comes home and he has to look at you.
And he's like,
And he's just really like, it's like, yeah,
what?
that's my kid.
Wow. Yeah. So CV has now given us two forms of judgment.
He's like that super impassioned, like creative guy at work. Let's be bold. Let's do different things in our industry. And then he comes home and just looks at you in the hallway like that. Just like,
He's like, why? Why?
hey son, what'd you do today? Fuck off, Dad. You don't love me enough, Dad. And he just looks at you back like that.
It's like, oh my god.
That guy was, yeah.
Can you survive the judgments of your uncle?
Son, I got the recruiter to a top 10 school to come and talk. Fuck you, Dad. No one loves you.
Oh, jeez. Oh my god.
Horrible kid. Horrible kid. That's the look on that guy's face.
So how many types of judgment do we need? We've got
I don't know.
we've got sad judgment, exasperated judgment, life choices judgment. How many more forms of judgment do you want to add to your
I don't
list?
know, because you have to, I guess, so I guess if you were, now someone's gonna steal this idea. But if you're playing a round of Judgmental Uncle, right? You need a deck of topical cards. And those topical cards would have different disappointing situations, right?
Oh my god.
Right? Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you
Alright,
got
I
a
can see
B
that.
plus on your report card with a bunch of A's, or you decided, or they're like giant ones, like, right, you decided to drop out of engineering school or something
Ouch.
like that, right? So you have a deck of situations, right? And that dictates the round. One person draws from that deck, and then the other players, they shuffle identity cards with the different uncles on those cards. Okay,
Okay.
so their job is they pull they would pull the identity, because each round you might end up being a different type of judgmental uncle, and so based on your identity and based on the scenario, you're supposed to come up with the most horrible judgment for the active player.
Wow.
So then you judge the active player. The active player then they have to guess which judgmental uncle you are being when you issue judgment, and then at the end of the round, then they have to figure out what the actual scenario is. If that makes
Alright,
sense, right?
I can see that. That sounds interesting.
So they score. So you score the uncle point by being one of the early, based on how quickly they can determine which judgmental uncle you are, and then they score the round based on whether or not they can determine the scenario.
Okay.
So we'd have to play test it a bit,
Yeah,
and
we
then
have to
we would
play.
have to write. We'd have to come up with a different uncle. But that's the game. That's about as simple a game as you could get.
Yeah, I can see that.
But yes, just like that, we have developed a new board game.
we have now
Judgmental
become
Uncle
the kernel.
coming
We
out
have
on
formed the seed
Kickstarter.
that will be judgmental uncle.
And then we just, as part of the Kickstarter, then we have to partner with the sculptor like a Corvus Belli or somebody to come up with the different archetypes.
We need four judgment. We need what, 4 or 5
I think we're
judgments.
gonna, yeah, we probably, because a full game is probably we would probably have to have 6 types of judgmental uncle,
Oh.
right? And then the game would normally be played with 6 players, 5 uncles, and 1 active player. And then obviously at the end of the round, then you switch roles. Somebody else becomes the active player, um, and then you score it
And
at
then
the
you have,
end.
and then in the card
Man, I
you have to watch out for the dreaded drawing of the sad dad card.
so we need to so yeah, this needs to be play tested exclusively by Asian children so that we know that that we're successfully
We're being
conveying
authentic.
the
We're being
right
authentic.
experience. Yeah.
Yes. So initial design we'll need to go with an all Asian initial design.
Yeah, we
And then when we
needed
do when you do field testing, we'll have to do it. We'll have to do at least what, half Asian and half
yeah.
everyone else.
Like alpha testing is all disappointing Asian kids. And then then beta testing we open it up.
Come experience things you will come help
Come feel the
no,
shame.
come feel the shame with us. Join us in our shame.
Yep.
An experience like no other. Oh my god.
Yes. Look at the man. The army of Gordons is hilarious.
Oh jeez.
Okay. So I
But
guess
wouldn't the army of Gordons not technically work? Because then they'd say I'm gonna come for the fight, and then they don't show up.
oh yeah. That's super funny. They flake.
You win the war by default.
I'll totally come help you. We'll be there. Oh yeah. We're totally gonna be there. Yeah. And then they just never show up. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Army of Gordons.
And then, and then you're like policing the battlefield, and you finally notice that why is Gordon all the way over there? What are they all doing? He's doing something else completely different.
Gordon discovered a new game. I'm surely gonna check out this new GW game over here. He just walks away. Oh man, I'm gonna discover this game called Space Hulk. Gordon, that's not a new GW game. Oh, it's this new GW game. Totally gonna play it. Stop it, Gordon. All right.
Okay. All right. To be fair, if people are actually playing Necromunda, I might have the strength to make 5 minis just because I could. That is the one GW game I do want to try.
There are
If I
people
could
playing
find anybody who
Necromunda.
played.
Well, there were. There were people
Oh, there
playing
were?
Necromunda. Yeah.
No.
At least at one point last summer. I don't know if they are
Okay.
now,
I
but
wasn't. That's fine, but like I said, I'm like, there are many games. There are other games, and I'm still buying minis for Infinity that I will never paint. But I just
yes,
have minis.
that's but Jose, you're trapped in your house. You could totally do that now.
Although to be fair, I should
You could
actually
paint
paint
all the
the game
minis.
I'm actually playing, which would mean I need to finish painting all those Aristea minis I have.
Yes.
Although,
Oh,
though I did actually paint a good
I
number
painted
of
the
them.
Mendoza guy. I painted
Oh,
the Fire Mendoza guy. He's still on the stand. I didn't even take him off yet. I painted him like a couple of weeks ago. Here he is. So he has like blue. You're gonna have to wait and see on the
on the stream.
90 seconds from now. You'll see him.
Man, I keep on forgetting that it's freaking 90-second lag delay because I keep on wondering what the hell you're talking about, and then the picture looks completely different.
I'm gonna leave him on here for a second, and people are gonna be confused. Wait, I thought he said he's painting Lord of the Rings. I don't remember this character from Lord of the Rings. This guy was such a pain in the ass to build because it's Corvus Belli. They're
what can
just
I say?
really weird.
We can't have everything. They make great models. They
They
cut them up they divide them very poorly.
this yeah. There's a lot about this model that's really cool. Um, I don't think he's as good as a lot of the other metal sculpts.
All
He
right,
for
I
me
see.
he kind of ranks towards the bottom
I
with Luna. He's just not.
oh Elf Luna.
Yeah, I would say I still think Elf Luna is the worst of the limited sculpts or the alt sculpts. I'll say.
Mm.
Um, but like he's on the not as good side. Whereas um, you
All
know,
I want to see is the physical the physical alt prism sculpt because I like the design of the render
yeah,
design.
that shit looks great.
It
If
looks.
they do that in clear acrylic, if they do that in translucent acrylic, that's gonna be so amazing.
I would be amazed if they do that.
Yeah, that does make me want to play Prism. Like that is really
Yeah,
cool.
that's same. Crimson.
Even though
See, they don't have.
in my opinion, she's kind of a corner pick for.
I you know I would just I have no idea how to use Prism half the time. It's such for me. I'm constantly lost on how exactly you're supposed to play
I
her.
really think
But if I
she's.
had the mini, I would. Ooh, wait. Do they? Is this the? Wow.
I think she's. I think at least in game, you use her for when when your opponent puts down Musashi,
Yes.
or a
Okay.
bit or like a big time melee. Um,
All right. They have the physical.
is it clear? Is it that translucent acrylic? I
No,
guess.
but the way I'm assuming Heraldis painted it and it looks amazing.
Damn it. Well, I mean, I'll still get it because I'm collecting all the
I
metal.
It does not look clear. Here, I'll put it. I'll send it to you.
Hmm. Yeah, that does not look clear.
Yeah, it's not clear. Would have been cool,
That
but
looks
still,
super fun to paint though.
it looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of fun painting that. I won't go red like that. I'll go like this. I'll go either this type of scheme, like this ghost scheme, or I'll do like Archillian green type of scheme.
I'd like to see purple and silver.
I couldn't do that, but I will definitely do a different scheme
No, no,
than
that's
that.
just
It's
me.
cool.
That's just that's just a. I'm just wondering how it would look, but
That's cool. All right. Well, it looks like I am done painting. So I'm gonna call the stream here. Yeah, all I have left now is the troll and the heroes, and then this will be done. Cool. All right, guys. So I'm gonna call it here. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for joining, Jose. Have a
yeah,
good night.
not
Okay.